how are you doing that? Come on, man! Hey guys, how's it going? Some of you told me that you don't want to migrate to JDK 16 because it feels like playing roulette whether your library is working on JDK 16 or not. In this video, I'm migrating one of my personal projects, which is using JDK 8, JavaFX and JAXB for XML processing, and I will solve all the obstacles that will come into my way so you see what to do when it's not running quite out of the box. So here we go. First, let's remove JDK 8 so that we're safe that we're using JDK 16. Let's look it up on the web, and I'm using Adopt OpenJDK. Previously I was using Zulu, which is also fine. And on this page, click on JDK 16, which is the latest version, and here the download starts. Just install the MSI package. You will find it on your disk in the right folder, and it will set all the needed environment libraries. Yeah, we want to have this one. We don't need the registry keys. And here we go. And that's it. Let's see the Java version. It's 16, great. And let's compare the compiler version 2, which is also 16. And let's see if Maven picks it up. And Maven says it's 361. So let's download a new Maven version just for safety. And the latest version is 363. So actually 361 would work, but 363 has less bugs, so let's use this one. So here's the downloaded zip file, and let's unzip it on disk simply. I'm using 7-zip for that. And here is the unzipped version, and we're just copying where the old one was, which is this place on my disk. And I have to confirm that I'm administrator. Now I'm copying the original configuration into the new folder, so I don't have to repeat all the configuration steps. And now we can remove the old Apache version. So this is not really necessary to work with JDK 16, but actually when there is a bug, or when there was a bug, it should work now. And I have to change the version in the configuration of my environment so that Maven is found in the right folder. And that's it. Now let's see if the new Maven version is picked up. And you can see it's 363, that's fine. Next, I want to replace my Eclipse IDE. I'm actually not using the Eclipse IDE in my video here, but just for completeness, how to do that. You have a download page on eclipse.org, and the new version should be fine to run with JDK 16. Or at least it will run on top of JDK 16. I don't know actually if it is using any special features of JDK 16. And as I said, I'm not using it in this video at all. So let's just download it. And now it's a zip file. We have to unpack it. Let's do it with 7-zip again. Okay, we're done. And now let's move it to the right location on my disk, which is in the programs folder. And again, I have to confirm that I'm an administrator. You don't see that I haven't recorded on the video. And let's start it. And it says it's the latest version, 2021-03. And we want to convert our workspace. Okay, confirm. Yeah, confirm that. And here we go. So it is actually running on the latest JDK, but just for safety, let's check if it is really using it. And I doubt that actually, because there's a default JDK, and let's get rid of this one and use JDK 16 instead. So to do that, click the add button and select standard VM and select the folder where we have installed, which is here, this one. Select and finish and apply and close. And that's it. So back to our Maven world. In Maven, let's start with a normal build and let's see what happens if we simply do an mvn compile on JDK 16 with this project. And so here Maven is running, and this will need a while. It's not a huge project, but it has to do some work. So here we are after roughly 10 seconds, and let's change the release level to 1.8 and give it a try. I'm doing a clean package here just for safety. I know one shouldn't do it clean too often, but just for safety. And it's not working. It says it does not understand our options. So apparently we're not using 3.8.1. So let's use 3.8.1 actually. For this, we have to add a build section into our POM. And inside of the build section, we have to have a plugin management section, and inside of the plugin management section, there we can tell Maven to switch to the new compiler version by providing a plugin section, and inside of the plugin section we can provide the plugin. It's a lot to write actually, but if you're using a tool like an IDE, it will do it for you. So I'm just using Notepad here, so it's a bit long to type it. So we only need the artifact ID, we don't need the group ID, because all the Maven plugins actually are in the default group. So we can spare this, but we have to provide the version, which is what we actually want to do, which is 3.8.1. So that's it. So let's save it and give it another clean package run. And hopefully it will understand that we want to have the release switch, and it's still not working. So we have to replace 1.8 by 8. But now it should work. Let's see that. It runs. Yeah, that feels good. The compiler picked up the new options and it's compiling the project. So let's see the outcome. Wow, that looks scary. And the problem is, let's see. Mockito. Yeah, Mockito is always a bit tricky. So let's simply try to replace Mockito with the latest version, which is Mockito Core 3.8.0. So in the POM file, we have to search for Mockito and we replace the version number. Oh yeah, that's a bit outdated. So from 3.8 to 3.9, but not 3.9 including. This means we want to have 3.8 and all of its bug fixes actually. So give it another try. It should download Mockito now. And then it should be fine. Let's see that. Here's the download. That looks good. Yeah, it passed all tests. That's fine. And now it's doing a shading, so we get one single jar file including all the libraries we need. So let's see. Yeah, I already told you that we are using JavaFX, and this project was using JavaFX 15, and I want to see if there is a newer version for 16, and I think so, because there's already a 17 early access. So yeah, there's a 16, and it's always a good thing to use the version in alignment. So replace the 1501 by 16 and do another clean verify. I deliberately do a clean now because I want to get rid of the old version, otherwise they would stay in the target folder, which is not so nice to have because there would be a mix-up of versions. And this should produce a shaded file including JFX 16 instead of 15. So let's see the outcome. What did we do? We replaced the version of Mockito. We added the JFX controls 16 instead of 15. And we also, I didn't type it, but I did do it. I added the JAXB runtime, which originally was included in JDK 8, but since JDK 11 is gone, so I have to have this as an explicit dependency. So let's try. Replace compiler level 8 by compiler level 16, and let's see if we do another clean package run, if we come to an up-to-date shaded jar file including the latest version of JAXB and of JavaFX. And if the tests run fine, that should work actually. And that looks good. Now it's doing the shading. Okay, so after 32 seconds, I started the application, and the application says, in English this means it cannot find the the JavaFX components. What you have to do to solve it when you see this error message, that you split it into two classes. One class is your main class, which has the main method, and it calls the other class, which is extending from JavaFX application class, and then it should work fine. Let's see the difference. And you can see here that I have separated the classes, and due to that I have to replace it in the POM file too, so actually the right main class will be referenced. So these are all the changes. And now let's give it another try. That looks better. But again, there is an error message, but this time we have a different problem. Now JAXB, the XML processing library, is running into a problem, and it says, oh yes, unsafe. Okay. There's a problem with the unsafe class, which was never officially there, but a lot of libraries are using that, and apparently JAXB is using unsafe. And JDK 16's JAB 396 says there is a strong encapsulation of the JDK internals by default, which in particular means we cannot invoke the unsafe class. So we can use an illegal access permit option, which should do the job, and it gives us a warning that we shouldn't do that actually, as in future it won't work. So the application is running, but in future it might not. So maybe we should find another solution. Just a proof, here's the running application. So yay, it's running on JDK 16. But why is that happening, and how can we solve this? So we see here the source code of JAXB, and it actually is using that method, and it actually, you can see it here, is calling the unsafe class. But it's not doing that in all ways. Actually, if you browse through the issues, you will find that you can make it work actually without that switch. And we see here some people already filed issues and there are solutions in that. So if we have problems like this one, always scan the solved issues, because most probably the solution is somewhere in one of the comments. So here is a possible solution. Let's try this one. And it actually should work. Let's see. But there's another problem. JAXB actually detects JDK 16 and is able to work around these issues. JAXB is using a multi-release jar. And when we are shading our jars, we are dropping away literally the solution. So what we have to do is that we also provide a multi-release jar. And once we do that, it will run fine. So here's the proof. Our application is working very well on JDK 16 now without providing any options on the command line, without getting any warnings that in future it won't run anymore, just by using the latest tools and the latest libraries, and by keeping in mind that we have to produce a multi-release jar to get the tricks that are found in the multi-release jars of our dependencies. Okay guys, so as this video proves, migrating to JDK 16 is possible, even if you're using complex dependencies like JavaFX or like JAXB, which haven't been compatible with modern Java since recently, but meanwhile they are, and you just have to learn how to get these solutions and how to use them. And with minimal changes, you will make your application or your library run on JDK 16. And as you have seen, it wasn't days or weeks, it was just a few minutes if you know where to find the solution, and you always find a solution when you're going directly to the original vendors, to the open source projects that provide the libraries you're using, into the issues folder, and browse for the issues with modern Java, and you will find how to work around them. So far for today, I hope you had fun with this video and it provides a solution for you you possibly could copy. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions, write into the comments, and I would always be happy if you subscribe to my channel. See you.